This time out in the podcast I spoke to Mark Wilson, frontman of the Peevie Wonders, a Newcastle band full of high-octane social commentary songs with subject matter ranging from indie dance floor boys to suffering with eczema. Mark and the band are recently back from South by Southwest Festival, and we spoke about that as well as what's coming up for the Peevie Wonders in the near future. We also touched on latest single Eczema Energy, which was produced by Sam Fender's bandmates and also features a Sam Fender solo. Hope you all enjoy this podcast. Keep liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, but most importantly, enjoy. If you stay. On the podcast today, I have Mark Wilson, frontman of the Peevie Wonders, a Newcastle band. I don't even know how to describe his high. It says on the Facebook page a high octane band, but there's a lot more to it than that, which I'm sure you'll describe in the course of the interview today. But what I like to do at the start of the podcast, just if we can get back to what life is like for a young Mark Wilson growing up in Newcastle.
So yeah, hello. Thanks for that lovely introduction. Well, I've always just been into music, really, to be honest, and been in bands since I was about 18 years old. Just because I thought it was a cool thing to be in a band, as most people probably do who are in a band. A lot of influences from my dad. He's a massive music head. My mum as well, but it's a different kind of music. She's more into Enrique Iglesias and stuff like that. But my dad was really into the punk scene when he was younger. So obviously, my first memory of music when I was growing up was like Sex Pistols, the Clash, the Jam, the Stranglers. So it was I kind of forced upon me, if you want to say it like that, from quite a young age, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's still, I still love them bands now, and I feel like in the music you can maybe hear a bit of that in our tunes. We try to be a bit punky, but we're not actually that punk. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a hard one to describe your sound, really, when it comes to bands.
And at what point then did you start playing music? Obviously, you say you've been in bands for 18, but when did you kind of initially pick up the guitar?
I remember my granddad giving me a guitar when I was probably about 13 years old. And I think I strummed it once and it's been in the loft ever since. But then I got a guitar for Christmas when I was about 17 and started playing guitar. I got an electric guitar to start with, and within 6 months I was in a band. I couldn't even play the guitar properly, and it was awful, but I loved it. You know what I mean? I absolutely loved it. So to be fair, like I wasn't one of these people who started playing really young, to be honest. I just got a guitar and just started playing. It was actually out of tune for the first 3 weeks that I didn't even realize that you had to even tune a guitar, to be honest. So my mom's a teacher and she took it into school, and the music teacher tuned it for us, and that completely revolutionized it for me. Like,
And once you kind of started learning the guitar and you kind of realised that you wanted to be in bands, you wanted to do this, were you playing cover songs, or how long did it take for you to kind of progress to writing your own stuff?
Well, yeah, to be honest, I feel like I started off just playing Joy Division bass lines on my guitar because I knew they were like 2 notes, which is a good way to start, I think. Then I actually went on to play bass. But to answer your question, I started writing music pretty early on, to be honest. Just writing songs, just silly songs, trying to think we're in the Libertines, stuff like that. Me and Ben, who's still in the band to this day, started writing tunes together. And yeah, we just quite early on started writing our own stuff, which I think is quite cool. I wasn't good enough to play other people's songs, so it was just 2 chord songs for us, to be honest.
You find that's a lot with the bands that I've been talking to recently as well, though, that they as soon as they kind of pick up the guitar, they would rather write their own songs than play other people's songs, because once you know you've mastered the guitar, Why would you want to do something else when you can do your own stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't say I'm a master at all. I'm still pretty terrible at guitar, but we're still playing two chord songs, to be honest. So nothing as much has changed in the past 10 years.
So you've been in bands for you were 18. So
Mhm.
what bands was before um
uh,
Peevie Wonders?
so yeah, I was in a band with Ben, who's a guitarist in the Peevie Wonders. We were called the Lepers, which is a terrible name. Then that went on for a year or two. Did a couple of gigs, nothing crazy, just in local pubs and stuff. Then we formed another band called Bridge, which is named after all the bridges in Newcastle. You can tell we were really innovative in our names back then.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Manchester to go to university. Then they carried on without me. I think they lasted for a little bit longer, but I think that came to a gradual end. Then in Manchester, I met a few lads who were into music, and I was playing bass for that band for a bit. We never did any gigs, but would practice religiously every Tuesday night, writing our own songs, no covers. And some of the songs lasted like 15 minutes, just jam songs, no lyrics, just like psychedelic rock, really. Then after that, I moved back to Newcastle after uni. Then yeah, was just playing music on my own. Started making music. Then COVID hit a few years after, and then I started up the Peevie Wonders, and that was just a bedroom project, as a lot of bands are these days. Um, then I realized that I wanted to maybe do something with it because I was quite vibing with the songs, and they were just silly, which I loved because why not have fun with it? Do you know what I mean? So then me and Ben
Yeah.
started it up. So yeah, I started writing some songs, got Ben involved. Then for a while we were just using a drum machine. Then that became very annoying because we had to keep turning it off after each song. So then we got the drummer in, bass player. Then here we are now.
I
So yeah, when I say
see. Sorry, when you go.
oh yeah, like when I say I was in bands, I was only in like two bands, but I absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed it, and playing live has been my favorite thing. I just love the excitement of it, and that's been something that I've really wanted to hit home with the PV Wonders, a good live show, and implementing like funny stuff into it. So like I'd say 30% of our live show is comedy. We've got a joke book that we get out. We've got people eating sausage rolls on stage and stuff. So I want to make it as much visual as it is audio. That's
Yeah,
about
I mean it gives the audience an experience as well. I was speaking to a band on Monday for Lancaster, the Lovely Eggs.
I've
And
seen them live. I've seen them play the class. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean that's kind of the same sort of ethos they've got. It's like it's not just the music, it's everything that comes in about it.
Yeah, they make a lot of noise and put on a show for two people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, I mean, they're a band that I wasn't aware of until a couple of weeks ago, and you kind of hang, how have I missed these
yeah, they're
people?
really, really, really cool. Yeah, I saw them live in Newcastle at the Clooney. They're really good, really good. Seem like lovely people as well.
Yeah, oh, it's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what were when you went to Manchester to uni? What was it you were doing there?
So I was studying photography, which is what I do for a job now.
Right.
So that's helped out a lot with like the visuals and stuff for the band. But yeah, so yeah, I enjoyed that. It was a pretty wild place to go to university, Manchester. It's just like a bigger Newcastle. Everyone just loves drinking and going
Yeah.
out and stuff. It's mint, man. I love that city. I love it.
Obviously, COVID. You mentioned COVID, and that's when kind of the PV Wonders kind of came to
Yeah,
be. First single came out mid mid 2022, July 2022, and the Dance Floor Boy.
yeah.
So what did that feel like? Kind of releasing your first single, like putting your first single out there.
I mean, yeah, like obviously I said I've been in bands, but that was actually the first song we ever released. I've ever released. I've been in three bands previous, didn't release any music at all. But it was absolutely mint just to be in the studio with the boys. And obviously I had a demo version of the song, which I spent quite a while on. And just to hear it actually professionally recorded was just absolutely mind blowing because I was a bit like, oh, a bit reluctant, to go to a studio, like, oh, you pay 500 quid, whatever. And it's like, how much better is it going to sound? And it turns out it was a lot better than my trash recording that I made on my computer at home. But yeah, getting out there was amazing, and we got quite a good reception for the first song. I think it's still got the most plays on any of our songs on Spotify. And yeah, that's what kicked it off really. Absolutely love that tune. We still play it live now, and yeah, that's what started it all really. And that song's a bit of a self-reflection, to be honest, because indie dance floor boy, that was me when I was younger, when I was 17 in the clubs, thinking my music taste was the best music taste out of anyone there. I'm too
Yeah.
cool to sing along to these songs that all the rest of these people are singing along to. So it was a bit of a message to myself when I was 17, saying, "Sort yourself out, man. Like, you're not actually that cool, mate." Do you know what
But
I mean?
this is the thing for like, listening to your music and your lyrics. There's a lot of kind of social commentary in it, and you're obviously taking influence for all things around you. And there is, I mean, there's people like Indie Dance Floor Boy up and down the country. Like it's always been a thing.
Oh yeah, I feel like everyone who's into rock music, indie music, and who went to these weekly club nights where they're playing music like Stone Roses, Oasis, Arctic Monkeys. I feel like everyone's got that indie dance floor boy in them who's been to them clubs because you're right, it's true. You do think you've got the best music taste in the world when you're 17. You think that's it. No more music's going to introduce them to my life, and how wrong you are.
Hmm. So is that something? Is that a skill you think that's personal to you? Then that you're able to kind of look at your surroundings, and kind of take influence and write songs around them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of my favorite songs are like about real life things, and obviously I'm not intellectual enough to sing about the actual problems, so I kind of take a uh, funny take on them all. Like Influencer. That song's obviously about like social media and how like there's people trying to sell you stuff left, right, and center, and so it kind of obviously took a stance on a influencer trying to sell me this shampoo and saying how bad it is instead of saying how good it is. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Saying
Well,
that.
sorry.
No, no, yeah, like I'll just add to that. Like obviously in the lyrics, it's talking about how it's cruelty free, but it's actually tested on mice, which I feel like a lot of this stuff is. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I do try and obviously like take a poke at social problems, so whatever, but in a funny way because there's plenty of songs that out there that probably say that a lot better than I do, to be honest. So it's good to take your own stance on it.
Well, obviously, second single, Gym Lad. I
Yeah.
was I was speaking to my pal last night, or the night before, and we ended up it got into a wee bit of an argument. We had a wee bit of fallout, and we're speaking now. I think it was just a bit touchy for him. He kind of struggles a bit with addiction and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I'd say to him about this song, Gym Lad. I says, I'm interviewing this band in a couple of days. I says, and this song is basically written about you. Because obviously mentions gym, gear,
Yeah.
shagging, booze, all that. Basically, this boy's life. But it kind of when I mentioned it to him, he didn't like it. I think it hit home, and it wasn't until yesterday we had a wee conversation about it and sorted things out. But it's obviously the song's written with a humorous side, but again, there's that message there, and again, that what I mentioned to him was there's people like us up and down the country with the same problems, and
Mhm.
it's a circle. It's like a wheel that they kind of get off. So for you to kind of write about something like that and sing about it, but put a touch of humour in, do you think
Yeah.
that helps to kind of get the message across?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And obviously we all know someone like that. Like I've got mates who are like that. And I've told them it's probably written about you, you know. But
Hmm.
that actually came about from my girlfriend who was at the gym, uh, winked at her and was being a bit like, like a gym lad. So instead of me kicking off and being like, oh, what's going on there? Like, she just decided to write a tune about that guy that I've never met. And that's where gym lad came from. Yeah, it's funny, man. And actually, our new bass player, Alex, he's a gym lad, but his job's actually a personal trainer. He's not quite as severely a gym lad as probably the people that I'm talking about in that song. But it was quite funny because he joined the band and he's like, "This song's about me, isn't it?" And it's his favorite song by us. So it's quite funny. It's gone full circle. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I love that. We always open with that song, and it's quite hard hitting. And I think it's a good way to open up the set.
Yeah, yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, I've been really impressed with what I've heard over the last couple of weeks. It's
Thank you.
it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And again, as I say, it's humorous, but it kind of makes you think as well.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, and sorry that you had a falling out with your mate over one of our songs. I hope you're pals now.
Yeah, yeah, we're all good.
That's good. I
Um,
apologize to you, mate.
I was I was watching just before I came on. I was watching a YouTube. I think it was influencer
Yeah.
at the Glass House,
Yeah.
and I was looking at the guy playing bass,
Hmm.
and he looked like the guy that plays bass with Andrew Cushion at the moment. I didn't know if it's the same guy.
No, no. So that guy there is my mate Joe Smiles, he's actually left the band now, and the new bass player was the gym lad that I was talking about before.
Uh-huh.
Joe's an amazing musician, but he got a job as a paramedic up in Scotland, so it just wasn't working out. But still mate to
Right.
this day. There's no hard feelings. But no, he's not. He's not Andrew Cushion's bassist. Like,
No, it's just I seen with the bass guitar and the baseball hat, and I thought that he
yeah,
looks really like the same boy for Cushion's band. It's funny you say that he's come up here to be a paramedic in Scotland because my nephew has went down to north of England to be a paramedic.
yeah. Oh wow,
So uh,
there you go.
they
There you
might,
go.
they
He
could
lives
just
in the
get stayed
borders
where
now.
they were and kept their own jobs in the place they were.
Yeah, they should swap.
So I mean, obviously touching on that, like touching on like what I said, I thought he was in Andrew Cushion's band. What is the scene like down in Newcastle? Is it quite the band's quite supportive of one another?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like it's a great scene, and I think I'm happy that it's starting to kick off a bit. Obviously, through the help of Sam and his band, that's really like paved the way that you can actually be from a bit of a shithole in Newcastle and do it. Do you know what I mean? Like he's world famous now. Like fair play to him. He's an amazing songwriter. I'm good pals with the lads in the band as well, and I think that's kind of been a little bit of a catalyst for the Newcastle scene. And yeah, everyone's so supportive. I've got some amazing gig venues up here, and yeah, there's some really good talent coming out of Newcastle on all sorts of music as well. Got some great rock bands up here. We've got some really successful electronic music as well, like Shaq, Patrick Toppin, Ben Hemsley. They're all from North Shields, like where I'm
Hmm.
from, where Sam's from. This little corner of Newcastle it's a little fishing town in Newcastle, and there's some amazing stuff coming out of here. Like it's really good to see, and everyone is quite supportive. Like always supporting each other on the gigs, headliners and stuff like that. And it's a nice scene. It's really cool. It's really really cool.
Because when I seen yourself, when I get the email about yourself, there was also a lassie, a singer songwriter, I think Melanie Baker or something, who's also from Newcastle. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
get her on the podcast as well. I like to kind of get a wee bunch of people for the same scene to kind of highlight it because Newcastle seems to have been off the map for years and
yeah.
just since Sam's emergence and then Andrew Cushion and then bump into yourselves, it does seem to be cutting off.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and I think it's great. It's really inspiring for people from up here, even people who aren't musicians, just to like be like, yeah, we are from Newcastle, and obviously maybe get left behind a bit. I feel like you probably feel the same up in Scotland as well. Everything's down in London, and people move to London to try and make it and stuff. And it's good how it's now becoming such a great place to be, the Northeast, where like you don't have to move away anymore. There's now places that'll support you. There's gig venues. There's loads of bands. Everyone's just sound. You know what I mean? Everyone's lush, and it's great to be able to like now have the support and the scene to know that you can make something of it, or even if you don't want to make it, just have fun with it and not feel like you have to travel far just to get 100 people at your gig.
Do you think the kind of the emergence of the scene in the last few years it goes hand in hand with like the football club's
Yeah,
performance and stature? Because you see this a lot where kind of all the elements of a city kind of come at the same time. They all come up at the once.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think it is a lot to do with the Newcastle takeover, and that's given us a bit of fire in our bellies. You know, it's like, oh yeah, we're on the rise now, Newcastle. So hold on tight. Let's see what happens. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And obviously, like great to see Newcastle performing well, the football team. And yeah, like you say, I think that has helped to what's that saying? Rising ships. What is it? All ships rise the tide or something like that. I've messed that one up, but you know what I mean.
So obviously, as we touched on the scene, your latest single, Big Eczema Energy, released a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, March the 6th.
Mhm.
It's got Sam Fender, is that correct? He plays on it.
Yeah, he's done a guitar
And
solo on it.
it's is it a couple of members of his band that helped write it as well? Is that correct?
So Dean and Joe, I've been mates with Joe for years. Joe plays keys and guitar, and Dino's the guitarist in his band. And I've known them for years, and I've had this song, Big Eczema Energy, since pretty much the start of Peevie Wonders. So like 2 years I've had this song, and Joe, it's quite a personal song. I've got eczema. I've suffered from it my whole life. It's quite an annoying skin condition, to be honest, having to lace cream on your skin every day. But I live with
Hmm.
it. It's getting better. But Joe suffers with that as well. And I told him about this song, and he said, "Look, when you come to record that, let me produce it for you." I was like, "Right, okay." But obviously, they're very busy being in one of the biggest bands in the world right now. So eventually, he said, "Look, I've got some time. Let's sit down and I changed the song a bit, rework it a bit because it was originally a 5 minute crazy psychedelic rock song with a 2 minute keyboard intro. So he was like, "Look, nah, chop it all out, condense it down, and now it's sitting at 1 minute 52, I believe. So it's more than half as long. But when we play it live, we'll play the long version. Don't you worry." But yeah, so sat down with Joe. He came to band practice. Him and Dino helped us, give us some pointers, helped me rewrite the song. Then we went into the studio and they produced it, and it was just amazing to see those guys at work, just having so much fun with it as well. Very relaxed environment. There was no time pressure. If we weren't feeling that day, we would go the next day, whatever. Then when it came to Sam being on the song, I wasn't even there to be honest, and they were just mixing it a bit, and Sam was there, and we knew we needed to put a solo on that section, and he just grabbed the guitar. And, like Ollie was there, our drummer, because he was redoing a drum part. He's like, "Oh, you might want to come down. Sam's putting a solo on the song." I was like, "Yeah, I probably should." It was 10:30 at night. I was watching the Traitors with me lass in my pajamas. So I had to fly down to the studio, and I just got there, and he's just like, yeah, laying down this stinking solo, which obviously we've kept in the song, and I think it's the best part of the tune now, to be honest. But yeah, it was amazing just to see the support from those guys.
That's brilliant. It's nice just to see kind of that support.
Oh yeah, totally.
As we touched on, it is nice to kind of
Yeah,
see that everybody's kind of pushing in the same direction.
yeah, and like Dean and Joe, their production skills is absolutely insane. Like they just get it. You know what I mean? They got the song straight away, and they just completely brought it to life. So I can't thank the boys enough. Like they're all legends, man.
And what's the reception been for the song for it's been out?
Yeah, everyone's just been saying how hilarious it is, which is exactly what I wanted people to say. And obviously people who've got eczema have been coming up to me and saying, "Look, that's good. I've got big eczema energy instead of big dick energy. I've got big eczema energy." And you're proud to have this condition, which is quite irritating to have. To be honest, you've got to be careful of what kind of soap you use and stuff. And I know that obviously there's worse conditions to have, but it's something you've got to live with, and it's bringing it into the masses a bit. People don't really talk about eczema that much; it gets forgotten. And
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think I've ever heard a song reference eczema before in my life. So,
exactly, that's exactly why I wanted to write it.
and
Yeah,
you're
it's
just
fully, man.
back for South by Southwest.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
had
getting
a
over the jet lag. Like,
uh, I had a band on a few weeks ago, the Manatees. They went out there as well.
oh
So,
yes, yeah, I think I saw them on the lineup. I think they were
right.
playing for like a similar showcase, but on a different stage. I didn't get a chance to see them. Are they from the UK?
Yeah, for Southampton, right down the
Ah,
bottom.
cool.
Um,
Nice.
so how was that? How was South by Southwest, and kind of what sort of stuff goes on there?
It's absolutely mental. Like every street you walk down, there's just at least four live music venues and
Right.
bands hearing it blare out the doors and say, "Oh, that sounds mint. Let's go in here. Let's go in here." It's just like the whole city of Austin just shuts down. All the roads are blocked off. There's police everywhere, and it's just an absolute spectacle. Like it's amazing. Like really, really great. First time we've ever played in America. One of the first times I've ever played outside of Newcastle, to be honest. So it's it was quite a shock for me and the boys. Like, but yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff on. They've got like film premieres, they've got technology, they've got music, and everyone there's just there to have a good time and listen to music. It's amazing.
I listened to Steve Lamacq. He's got a podcast
Yeah.
called the Price of Music. So I was listening to that this morning at work. Obviously, I work night shift.
Yeah.
And he was talking about some band that was at South by Southwest, but says it cost them £20,000 or something to get there. Like I think they get a grant and all that, but by the time you've booked your Airbnbs and transport and stuff like that when you're there. So
That's a lot.
Was it a lot of cost to yourselves?
Yeah, I mean we had to get the flights booked just because before the prices went up, so we kind of forked out of our own pocket. But then to try and make some of that back and actually have some money to spend over there because that pretty much skinted us all. I think it was like 700 quid for the flights and the same again for accommodation. So we put on a gig. Shout out Shin Gigs, who are a promoter in Newcastle. They just did it all for us for now. Let us keep all the money from it. And obviously all the people who came along bought tickets. Then we sold some T-shirts as well. Then we got a bit of money from a company called Generator in Newcastle as well, who helped us out as well. There was like a grant similar to what that sounds like the other band got. And yeah, I can't thank everyone enough from Newcastle. So they got us over there, and we made a bit of money back, which is great. But we still spent a lot. Like it's a lot. It's quite pricey over there. Got a tip as well, haven't you? Everything's tipped.
And how many gigs did you play? How many?
We played 4 in total. We were meant to have another one, but we backed out of it because that was the official one for South by Southwest. And a lot of bands did the same because it was such an annoying decision to have to make because one of the main funders for the festival was like funding the Israeli war. Like their money was basically paying for the weapons that they were sending over, and it was like funding the genocide essentially. And there was a massive thing about it. I didn't actually realize how big it was at home. Apparently, it was on the radio and stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of the bands dropped out. It was an annoying decision to make, but I suppose when you think about it, it's quite an easy one to make for us. It's just us backing out of a gig when there's all that going on out there. It's more important, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be so hard though. Obviously, I mean, you've been building this up, I would imagine, for months and months and months, looking forward to getting out there, and then literally a shitstorm just kind of blows up out of nowhere, and as you say, you have got a decision to make. And
it was obviously we had to like sit down and as a collective like be like, look, we have to do this, and it was just annoying. South by Southwest should know better, really. Like, you know what I mean? You've got artists out there who, you know, they've like you say, forked out money and stuff, and for them to be so stupid and get backing from a company like that, it's just annoying, really, to be honest. But yeah, it had to be done, really. Yeah.
So what's coming up next for you? Obviously, I see you get a gig in Newcastle the 12th of April, but what else have you got for the rest of the year?
So I want to get back into the studio ASAP and record the final song for the EP that's going to be coming out in the summer, which will be titled Big Eczema Energy. I just wanted to put that one out there now because I wanted to put that out there before we went to South by Southwest, just so I had like a product, if you want to call it that. And I've got 2 songs recorded for the EP. Just need to get one more recorded, and that's the EP finished. So I want to get that done probably in the next few weeks. Get booked into the studio. So yeah, get the EP out, maybe do some gigs for that. Then yeah, I'm just going to keep writing more songs. I've got a few more in the works. I just want to keep writing and obviously see how many songs I get written and see what happens with the EP. Then maybe he's doing an album. I don't know. Is that what people do these days? I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, just keep doing.
Is that the sort of route that you would like to go down, though, like an album route? Because you see a lot of bands that kind of focus on singles and EPs, and
yeah,
I mean, I prefer an album.
Yeah, I would love to because I'm an album guy myself. I listen to a lot of old music. Like my music taste is probably nothing really like what the Peevie Wonders make. I listen to a lot of like 70s rock, dad rock essentially. So so yeah, they're all album songs, and I listen to them all the way through in albums, and I love that. So yeah, I'd love to do a full like album, maybe it's like a concept album or whatever. All the songs are
Right.
pretty similar. But we'll start with the EP first because I know there's a lot of work and a lot of money that goes into an album. And obviously, we're still a DIY band. Haven't got any management or anything.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah.
And something that I should probably ask towards the start of the interview, obviously the name, the Peevie Wonders, where
Mhm.
does that come from? I was looking it up. Um, does Peevie mean like to get drunk?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same in Scotland.
I've never heard that.
Have you not?
That's
No. So yeah, in Newcastle, getting drunk can be also explained as getting peevy. It's like
right.
saying, "Oh, I'm off to the pub for a couple of peeves. Can't get peevy, whatever." I thought I heard that it was a Scottish term to be honest, but clearly not.
Maybe it is
Yeah,
further up,
and
but
maybe it's a trickle down, but yeah. So basically, I was at work. I used to work for a marketing agency, and there was a lad there called Matty Rose who was he's pretty. He should be a comedian, man. He's absolutely hilarious, and he's got an answer for everything. Everything's a pun. Everything's a
mm.
joke. And we were just talking about our weekend plans. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to the pub for a couple with the boys. And he was just like, oh, who do you think you're like? Peevie Wonder. And it just stuck with me. I was like, that's actually genius, that. So I wrote it down in my notes. This is way before I even wanted to start a band. And I was just thinking of band names. And I was actually in another band at the time, just playing guitar for them. And we were trying to think of a band name. And I had the idea, Peevie Wonders. And they were like, nah, it's not right. And a couple of years later, I was like, right, let's go for it. Peevie Wonders. Let's see what happens. I didn't expect it for anyone outside of Newcastle to even listen to the music. So that's why it's quite a Geordie name, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. But yeah, that's where it came from, the Peevie Wonders. I think it's quite funny, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean it fits with everything, doesn't it? It fits with
Does
the style of music and the lyrics and all that. It all fits.
it's
And
quite a funny one to explain to Americans, which obviously we had to deal with all of last week. And they're like, the Peevie Wonders, like, what is that? And they're like, we've been asked if we're a Stevie Wonder cover band before, which I think's hilarious. To
well, I mean
that,
that's where when I get the email through a couple of weeks ago, that was my initial thoughts.
and I love that.
And I was a bit
I absolutely
disappointed
love
there
that.
was name.
I think it's hilarious that, like, if someone thinks we're a Stevie Wonder cover band, just say, yeah, we are, yeah. And when they listen to the music, yeah,
So, obviously, the last bit of the podcast, it's called Time for Heroes.
yep.
And I asked my guests to pick four heroes to come for dinner. Why they're your
Wow,
heroes and what would you cook for them?
wow.
Uh,
How many dishes we're doing here?
you get, well, who I had my last guest done like two starters, a main, and a dessert, but usually they just make a dinner. Usually my guests just make a dinner, but
All right,
this
okay.
one went full
All
hog.
right, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll just go for one dish if that's okay.
Yeah.
Uh, shall I start with the people or the dish first?
Yeah, well, go with the people first,
Yeah, all right. Probably to start with, I'd have Jack Black
right?
because I just think me and him would get along, man. You know what I mean? Like I love Tenacious D. I've took a lot of influence from that band, how they've been complete piss takers, haven't they, really? And they've made a massive career out of it. They've got
Yeah.
films. I just think they're great. I think they're absolutely fantastic. And his sense of humor is so funny. And he's getting old now and he's still behaving like Jack Black. And
Uh-huh.
I think that's how he is as well. I don't think it's a front at all. I think he's just unapologetically himself. And I love people who are like that, who are just themselves.
Do you
Uh,
think with something like that as well, obviously again there's the humour and like a lot of the time like people forget like how good he is actually as a musician as well because it's,
yeah, yeah, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Like his guitar playing is like sensational. And like the songs he writes are catchy as out, that they're amazing. Yeah, so
yeah.
he'd definitely be there. It's quite a hard one, isn't it? 4 is a lot as well. Who else would I have? Probably my mom. Is that all right?
Brilliant.
She's probably my hero, you know.
There's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a lot of people. There's not a lot of people pick family members. I always like it when.
yeah. Yeah, I'd pick my mother. She'd be there. Angela, shout out. My mum and Jack Black. It's already funny. Who else would I have? I'd probably have SpongeBob SquarePants.
Brilliant again.
He can be in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Cooking it up. I love
That's one
SpongeBob.
of Liam Gallagher's favourites as well.
Oh, really? There you go. Yeah. So yeah, SpongeBob. I've always loved SpongeBob SquarePants. I still watch it to this day. I think it's hilarious. I think the SpongeBob movie, the original one, is probably one of the best films out
Mhm.
there. Yeah, it's
Some of
timeless.
the, I mean, would you class it's like a children's program, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Because some of the stuff, obviously, my boys are a bit older now. My youngest is 10,
hmm
but I'm kind of looking at my oldest boy. He's 16, and some of the children's programs when he was growing up, they were kind of they were quite edgy. Some of the things that were on
Yeah,
Nickelodeon and stuff like that. It was
yeah. There's always some underlying like meanings to the episodes and stuff, which I think is quite funny because
yeah.
it's just a sponge who flips burgers. But there is in the amount of episodes there is, it's like how did they keep it so fresh? Like everyone's a
Mhm.
banger. There's not a bad episode. Yeah, and finally, who else would I have for my dinner party? Um, hmm,
Tough
this
one,
is
isn't it?
this is hard, man. It's really hard. Who would I have for my dinner party? Probably have to go for um. I don't know. This is really hard. You've got me here. You know, you've got me here.
I
Um,
have put you in the spot. I
you
led it up
have,
with this blank space.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure you can edit it all out.
Yeah.
Who do I really like? I've got my mum, SpongeBob SquarePants, Jack Black, and I'm gonna go with another musical influence.
hmm
That's an easy one, isn't it? Uh, am I though? I'm really taking this seriously because it means a lot to me, man. Um, who am I gonna go for here? Um, yeah, right. I can't think of anything else. So I'll go Justin Hawkins from The Darkness. I like him a
Right.
lot, man. I love his YouTube channel. I think he's hilarious, and again, the musicality as well. I've seen him live a few times. Recently, I saw him at Christmas in Newcastle, and wow, if you're in a band and you want to be you want to put on a show, go and see them live because it's just a spectacle. Like his crowd participation, he's just got the whole crowd in the palm of his hand, and the music's actually class. And again, completely taking the piss. You know what I mean? Like, but it's great. And I love that. It's similar. I put them in one of my main influences, The Darkness.
Right.
I really do.
Again, they've got kind of the humour element as well.
100%.
Um,
Yeah.
I met Justin Hawkins right
Oh,
at the
really?
start.
What's he like?
See, like, well, I was drunk at the time. It was at Tea in the Park.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Yeah.
but it was when they just came out, when they
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
massive, and
Took the company
I
by storm,
bumped
didn't
into
it?
him and his girlfriend, who I think was his manager as well.
All right, nice. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I so that's kind of a claim to fame. Bump into the darkness at the height of their fame.
Class. I love them, man. I think they're amazing. Yeah,
And
the
did you cover
we
them with something at a Christmas
yeah.
gig or something?
I'd use the word cover quite loosely to be honest with you. Like, we did the Christmas song, you know, done at the Bell's End, and obviously my vocal register can't really get up there like his, so it's more of a shout and a slur. And we played it at the end of the Christmas gig, and we'd all had a couple of beers, so it was a drunken slur that we got through the song is all I'll say. But yeah, I really like him. I love how intellectual he is. I love his opinion on music. I think he's very fair with his opinion as well. He'll say when things aren't great, and he'll say when things are really great. And he's obviously the YouTube channel has been a massive hit, hasn't it? I
hmm
think that's profiled the darkness a lot more as well. I bet they've got a lot more fans from that. and vice versa. Got more fans from YouTube channel from the band. And yeah, I think he'd just be a fun guy to be around. I just love the songs. I just love how funny his lyrics are, and the guitar playing's unbelievable as well. Like in the drummer,
Yeah.
he's got the guy from what's he called, George Taylor from Queen. His son's playing drums for them, man. It's like
Right.
what?
Is it
I love it.
still? Is he still get his brother and the Scottish guy? Are they? Are they
Yeah, so
both
the
still in the
Scottish guy
band?
on bass. I've forgotten his. Is it Frankie? His name? That's Frank.
Frankie Poland or something?
Frankie. That's it. Yeah, yeah. And his brother Dan on the guitar, and they're all amazing musicians. At the end, they swapped roles. So they had the bassist playing guitar, Dan was on drums, Rufus was on guitar. It's just mental.
Mhm.
All came back on in the dressing gowns and stuff to play the encore, and it's just yeah, I just think it'd be amazing. I think that's quite a good dinner date, that isn't it?
That it sounds wild. Actually, it sounds like you'd be struggling to keep control of them. I take it your mum's going to have her hands full with.
Well, she's a primary school teacher. She's probably used to. She'll be used to it. Yeah, but I think that'd be good. SpongeBob SquarePants, Jack Black, me mother, Justin Hawkins. That's a good dinner date. That, and I'd be cooking them all beans on toast because I think it's the ultimate meal for many reasons. One, it tastes amazing. Two, I'm very good at it. And three, what I like about beans on toast is the fact that it takes longer to eat than it does to cook. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, say you cook a lasagna, you're there for an hour and it's gone in 10 minutes. But beans on toast, beans in the microwave. I don't do it on the hob in the microwave, it's just easier. Toast, 3 minutes, done. And it takes what? Good 10
Would you
minutes to eat
butter
it?
the toast as well?
Absolutely. We've got a song about that. I've got a song about people who don't put butter on the bread. So yeah, I've got to maintain that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
recently got
that
in a
sounds wild.
Kerrygold, the Irish butter. My girlfriend bought that, the Irish butter Kerrygold, and it's changed my life.
Right.
Like I was normally an olive oil based butter guy or a Lurpak, but this Kerrygold, it's pretty good.
Look,
Like
see, I mean, I'm big on Lurpak, and
yeah, yeah.
see if you get like a cheap butter for like Aldi's or something like that, and then you get a Lurpak, you can taste the difference.
Oh, absolutely. Like yeah, with a nice bit of bread, butter. You kind of beat it, man.
My missus went after he'd at me and at the weekend, but we got hot cross buns. I says, "Well, hey, hot cross buns for a breakfast." So she went down and she'd made them for her and the kids. Um, and she'd used like the old butter, and there was like a fresh tub of Lurpak. So when I went to make mine, I was like, I'm not using that. I'm using the Lurpak.
All
And she went in later on to make lunch, and she's like, "Who's opened this butter?" And I was like, "Well,
right.
you can't have crap butter on
Oh,
your
absolutely,
hot cross
absolutely not.
buns. It needs to be it needs to be the real deal."
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely. You've got to have some fun in your life. You know what I mean?
yeah, so that was my big Sunday. My big Sunday fucking
The highlight of your
start
week was
off with hot cross buns and Lurpak.
yeah, I think Lurpak's better. If I was going to compare the two, Kerrygold and Lurpak, I think Lurpak spreads better. However, I've recently discovered from my girlfriend the technique for Kerrygold. You've got to thinly slice the top of it, so it kind of already melts with the motion, the friction
Hmm.
or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to be scientific. I'm not scientific at all. And you do that and you put it on the bread and it does spread. And I think it's salted or something and it's just banging. Like so, next time you're in Aldi, mate, get yourself sell some Kerrygold.
Yeah. There's just sometimes when you're spreading, I find when I'm spreading butter, sometimes it doesn't seem to kind of leave the knife. It just kind of
Yeah,
the knife just pushes it round and
it's got
it's still there. That's a
it's got
big
attachment issues.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
that sounds amazing. All four guests, obviously your mum's never been picked by MD other than yourself, but the other three as well are all debutants on the Time for Heroes podcast.
well,
And I
there you
don't
go.
think
First time
Andy's
for
ever
everything.
made beans and toast either. So, so all the time you took thinking there was worth it because
Yeah. Honestly, that really got me, man. I got because normally on these questions it's free, am I right? But I like how you've done the extra one. It really adds to it. It really does. It got me thinking there, you know. I started going through my whole life there. I was having flashbacks to who my influences have been through my life. So thanks for that. Took me down memory
That's
lane.
brilliant. But an absolute pleasure speaking to you today.
Yeah, cheers for having us
When I
on,
put
mate.
the
I've really enjoyed
podcast
it.
out, I'll put links to all your socials,
Thanks, aye.
and everybody can go and check you out.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Oh,
first time I've ever done a podcast. So
is it?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you've done well then, and I'm glad that your debut is on mine.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't want it any other way, mate.
But absolute pleasure having you on the day. Great
Cheers,
speaking to
man.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Speak again soon, hopefully.
Cool, man. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Time for Heroes podcast. If you would like to get in touch, the best way is on the Facebook page, Time for Heroes podcast, or on Instagram at Time for Heroes podcast, or Twitter at Time for Heroes P1, or drop me an email at timeforheroespod@gmail.com. You'll find Time for Heroes on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon. Please leave a review where you can, share with others, and more importantly, enjoy.